Sid here, and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing something very fun and cool, at least in my opinion. I am going to be drawing my very own Six the Musical character. So if that sounds interesting to you, then please stay tuned and stick around. And without further ado, let's get started, shall we? So basically, if you do not know what Six the Musical is, then you are in luck. It is one of my favorite musicals, actually. I've seen it 2 times now. Not like on Broadway or anything extraordinary like that, but I've just seen it like at my local community theaters. But my local theaters are like really good. Like the director of one of them is on like the National Board of Theater People or something like that. So like we have some top tier local theaters. But anyways, it's basically just this really cool show about like King Henry's 6 wives and how they all have their own individual stories outside of being married to the same man. And it's a really like inspiring and inspirational tale about finding your own identity and embracing who you are and all of that great stuff, and how if you join together and work as a team, then you can help to change the way things are and make a difference in the world. So yeah, even though it is a little bit inappropriate at times, I find it still very fun and enjoyable because of all the cool historical facts and stuff, and the very inspiring and motivational message and theme that it has. So yeah, I went to go see it for the second time earlier in August, and I was just so blown away, and I had so much fun. So I was like, I wonder if I made my own Six the Musical OC, because I did see someone else made like a Six the Musical cosplay, very clearly like the style of the clothing, you know, it's like a very specific, like very sharp, angular sort of leather with like lots of spikes on it, but also like very colorful and all that great stuff. So they made their own costume, but it was orange, and I was thinking I would make a costume like that, but I would make it purple. And I was thinking, well, I could create my own OC. At first I was going to make like my own just original character, you know, like 7th wife of King Henry VIII, you know, that no one ever knew about. She was a secret. But I decided, what if I based my character on an actual real life person? Because, you know, whoever wrote this musical, I don't know who she was, but she's very talented. She put in so much time and energy and effort and lots of careful consideration to do lots of research and stuff and make sure that everything in the musical was historically accurate for the most part, other than the little modern tidbits that she adds in there every now and then to make it seem new and original. But one of the things that stood out to me the most when I was watching the second time was Catherine of Aragon says, you know, when I was the queen, Henry had not 1, not 2, but 3 historically confirmed mistresses. Dun 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 dun! And honestly, I'm sure he probably had more, like 20 or 25, you know? King Henry, he got around town, if you know what I mean. But I was really curious about this, so I did some research really quickly, and I was like, who was the most interesting mistress of King Henry VIII? And I found a few very interesting candidates, but I did select one in particular, and that is the character that I am drawing right here. That is Elizabeth Blount, who is also known as Bessie, although I did change her name to Lizzie B, because I think that just sounds a lot cuter and more modern. And like Bessie, like, I don't know. If her name is Bessie, don't be offended, but like, the only context that I've heard that, and it was like so ironic, was, you know, the big thing that like spills out the concrete in cars, you know? His name is Bessie, but I'm like, I cannot have my character be named this with like a straight face, so I changed her name to Lizzie B. I think that sounds a lot cuter and cooler, and yeah, but I did some research on Lizzie B before deciding to draw her design. Apparently, she was a lady in waiting to Queen Catherine of Aragon, who of course was King Henry's first wife, who came from Spain originally to marry King Henry's brother Arthur, but then Arthur died at a very young age, so she was then changed to marry King Henry. So that's why everyone thought she was sort of like cursed. in a way, and that was like the reason that King Henry gave to divorce from her. And yeah, but the interesting thing about Elizabeth Blount was that she gave birth to a son for King Henry. As y'all probably already know, if you know anything about this, sons were like very, very important in the ancient times, you know? If you had a daughter, it wasn't really that good because women just weren't as valued as they were today. They were kind of thrown under the bus and treated very poorly, but if you had a son, that was sort of like a symbol of power, you know? Your son could be your heir and like inherit everything that you had, but daughters didn't really contribute much or do anything. So King Henry, he like really wanted to have a son. So he tried for a son with Queen Catherine and Queen Anne Boleyn, which is probably the reason why he married Anne Boleyn in the first place, because he tried for like 20 years to have a son with Queen Catherine, but she just literally could not have a son, which, if you know anything about biology and stuff, is not her fault, because it is in fact the male person that hands over like the chromosome that determines whether you are a girl or a boy. So in all reality, it probably was King Henry's fault that he could not have a son. But I thought it was interesting that like the first son that King Henry had was by a person that he wasn't even married to, which is kind of crazy. Because obviously, like Queen Seymour, she had like the first actual son, but this was like the first son he had, just like in general, although it was like an illegitimate son. I just thought that was super duper interesting, you know? So yeah, apparently, even though I feel like it would be incredibly scandalous to do so, King Henry like admitted to being the father of this guy, even though like obviously it'd be super duper dramatic and stuff, because like, well, you're not married to this woman, why did you have kids with her, you know? But he, I guess, wanted so badly for his own personal ego and stuff to have a son that he openly admitted to being in an affair with this lady and acknowledged this guy as his son. His name is Henry Fitzroy, and apparently he was supposed to become the king if he didn't have any other like heirs, but since he did have more heirs later on, then he sort of lost his spot since he was illegitimate and all that great stuff. But it leads you to wonder, like, if he had not had any other sons with like Queen Seymour and all the other queens, if Henry Fitzroy would have inherited his father's throne. That would be pretty crazy. But yeah, it says after she had her affair with King Henry, she married Gilbert Talboys and later Edward Clinton before she died in 1540 from childbirth. So yeah, but I thought that Elizabeth Blount was just a very, very interesting character. I was like, this is gonna be pretty cool to make my own original OC from. So yeah, I looked up Elizabeth Blount's personality, just doing a quick little search on Google and all that great stuff, and it says that she was often described as being very fun-loving, graceful, and beautiful, with excellent courtly skills like singing and dancing, which made her very, very appealing and endearing to older men like King Henry VIII. And she also demonstrated a very lively, bubbly, and high-spirited nature, characterized by a very good cheer, and she was also considered to be highly intelligent and well-raised, with very, very good manners and sense of responsibility and duty, and all that great stuff. But I personally prefer other personalities. I know they were like this in like the actual real life, but in the Six the Musical, my two favorite characters are Anne Boleyn and Catherine Howard, because they're both just like absolute crazy, chaotic chaos gremlins, but I just absolutely adore it and like eat it up, you know? So I imagine that my little version of Elizabeth Blount would be her own little chaos gremlin, you know? So yeah, always trying to like cause drama, stir the pot, make a mischief, and all of that great stuff. I can see her being totally that person, you know? So yeah, and whilst I could have looked up pictures of Elizabeth Blount, and the only good pictures I found were the ones from like the Tudors TV series, I kind of want to watch that. It sounds really interesting, but anyways, I did not take historical accuracy into consideration when coming up with her actual like character design and all that great stuff. I just sort of did what I wanted to. Obviously, as I stated earlier, there are certain colors for each queen, you know, like Aragon is yellow, Boleyn is green, Seymour is white, Cleves is red, Howard is pink, and Tar is blue, but that would leave only 2 colors to really choose from, that being orange and purple, and since that other person had already made their own orange costume, I decided, well, I might as well just do a purple costume, and yeah, I think the purple looks really, really good though. I love the violet colors and all of that great stuff. And when I was going to watch Six the Musical for the second time, I did see an older lady with dyed purple hair, sort of like how I drew it here. It was like a nice platinum blonde on the top, and then it had like an ombre gradient transform into like a light lilac lavender color. I think it's always so funny when you see like old ladies with like obviously dyed hair. It just cracks me up every single time. Like, I have this substitute teacher at my school who must be like 60 years old, but she has like bright blue hair, and it's like the most hilarious thing ever. But yeah, I just basically designed her like that. I gave her nice wavy hair with some sharp bangs on top and a nice floofy bun held by a spiky ponytail. And I gave her some very sharp and pointy mascara, looking very nice, and sharp edgy emo earrings. Once again, I did the typical outfit, you know, like the fishnet stockings, sort of like a darker color, and the nice boots, all the silver studs and spikes and all that great stuff. And like the cross pattern, I made her outfit most similar to Catherine Howard's outfit because I do really like Catherine Howard's outfit. I think it's very pretty and cool and all that great stuff. But yeah, I gave her these nice brown eyes just to sort of tie in with all the other colors, some sprinklings of white little freckles across her cheeks, and some rosiness to her cheeks as well, some light lavender mascara, and all of that great stuff. But I think Bessie looks really, really cute, and I think she would be such a slay character as well. So yeah, I was really thinking about Bessie's story and stuff, and truly trying to make her into my own OC. So I even went as far as to write my very own little tiny itty bitty snippet of a song for her. I don't know why, I just have this like inexplicable talent for like coming up with songs and stuff, because I can just do rhymes like off the top of my head instantly, you know? Rhymes just like flow so naturally to me. I don't know why. It's crazy because like modern day Disney and AI and stuff like that, they cannot come up with rhymes to like save their life, but whatever. Anyways, I tried to come up with like my own little tiny itty bitty snippet of a song that's like in a similar style to the show. The show has like a very, very high-paced, fast, snappy sort of style. Sort of reminds me of like Lin-Manuel Miranda's like rap battles and stuff like that, but I just really adore it. I'm gonna sing 2 pieces from the actual show, and then I'm gonna put mine in there as well, and I'm gonna see if you can tell the difference and see if it actually sounds pretty good. So yeah, ignore my singing if it's bad. I'm not the best singer ever, but I'll try my best, guys. I am the Catherine of Aragon. I'm married 24 years. I'm a paragon of royalty. My loyalty is to the Vatican, so if you try to dump me, you won't try that again. Hi, my name is Elizabeth Blount. I wasn't a wife, so do I really count? Well, I was the one who gave Henry his first son, so that has to count for something, right, hun? Jane Seymour, the only one he truly loved. When my son was newly born, I died, but I'm not what I see more. Am I? Stick around and you'll suddenly see more. I am the Catherine who lost her head for too much promiscuity outside of Wed. So lock up your husbands, lock up your sons. Okay, how it is here and the fun's begun. So if you couldn't tell, my song that I wrote myself was the second one, and I actually think it matches the style of the show like pretty well. I feel like if you took someone who didn't already know the show and you just gave them this piece of music, they would not be able to tell which part was like mine and which part was like the rest of it, because I think it sounds pretty good, you know, like low-key. and I kind of want to write like my own entire like 3-minute song just based on Elizabeth Blount's life for my OC Lizzie B. So yeah, if you want me to draw more art of Lizzie B and potentially write my own song for her, please let me know in the comments down below, because that would definitely be something that I would be interested in. So yeah, but anyways, I hope you guys all enjoyed watching this video. It was super fun for me to make, and I had a great time making it. So yeah, if you did enjoy watching this video, then please make sure to like and subscribe. It always means so much to me when you do, and I really appreciate it. It helps to boost my YouTube channel into the algorithm, which is always such an amazing thing, because it helps to support me and encourage me along my artistic journey so I can keep on making videos like this. It also helps you, because if you do indeed enjoy watching my videos, then you will get notified every single time that I post a new one, and you will never miss out on a single new video. So yeah, I, unlike most other YouTubers, upload long-form videos multiple times every single week, and I upload short-form videos multiple times every single day. So no matter what, I can almost guarantee you that you will always have something fun and interesting to watch, and you will never be bored. But yeah, if you want to support me even further on my artistic journey, then please go click the links in the description box down below. This will take you to my other social media accounts, such as my Instagram account, Pinterest account, Roblox account, Unveil account, and all of that great stuff. I have all of those linked in the description box down below. And yeah, if food is more up your alley, then go subscribe to my Instagram Grubs account, where I post new food pics every few days or so. And yeah, thank you so much to this artist up here on screen for making me fan art. I don't know who it's going to be yet, but I am always so grateful for each and every piece of fan art that I receive. And yeah, but anyways, above all else, I hope that y'all guys all have an amazing rest of your day, and I will see you all in the next video. Always remember that I love you, and goodbye, eat more waffles, and peace out, Girl Scouts!